Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new Get Rekt gaming news video. I'm your host, MrMaximum, and today I have some really cool news to tell you guys. Two things. The first one, there is a secret new big PlayStation exclusive that is releasing this year. And I have some really cool news on a new Jet Set radio now in development at Sega. I thought I would never say that. Jet Set Radio, the IP, has been dead for a really long time, but there might be a change in that pretty soon. So, our first news story. There is apparently a PlayStation exclusive next to God of War Ragnarok that is supposed to release this year. Where does this actually come from? I have a news article from MP First. I don't know this website, by the way, I've never been on it, but they have a pretty interesting story that I haven't seen anywhere else from a PlayStation developer that is making some really interesting comments on Twitter. PlayStation has some bangers out this year, not Ragnarok, but equally cool. With Gran Turismo 7 released this March, Sony has 0 first-party AAA exclusive games set for release later this year, which we suspect will change soon, unless the company plans to not release any big game for the next 8 months, which we highly doubt. I also really highly doubt that. Especially with Starfield releasing for Xbox, PlayStation does need something else to counter that. While no announcements have been made, one PlayStation developer has teased that there are some bangers set for this year, and nope, it's not God of War Ragnarok, over on Twitter. The developer that they are talking about is Robert Morrison. I've never heard of this person, but he does animations for PlayStation Animation Studio. I searched him up on a LinkedIn page. I don't know if it's the same person, but I think so. So he is basically an animator, a cinematic animator for PlayStation, and his last project was at Santa Monica. He was an animator for God of War, and he also did some stuff for Certain Affinity, which is now doing stuff for Xbox. Now, he has his own personal Twitter page, which I will show you on screen, and he made some really interesting tweets. One of them was a nice surprise to receive this red gift today from PlayStation's creative arts team. PlayStation has some bangers, multiple, with an S, coming out this year. We only know that God of War Ragnarok is scheduled for this year. So that is the really strange part. He goes on further to say on Twitter, I am not working on Ragnarok, but something equally cool. The feeling when you have 3 to 5 years of work you can't show. That is really interesting. So it is a project that has been developed for 3 to 5 years. Now, what could this be? If I'm going through my mind of like certain PlayStation games that could be this title, we already had The Last of Us remake leaked. Is that a game though that you work 3 to 5 years on? I don't think so. It's a remake, and most of the groundwork for The Last of Us is basically there. The story and the gameplay, they just need to evolve on it a bit. Maybe with the same engine and gameplay mechanics from Last of Us 2. So I don't think that takes 3 to 5 years. I found that a really strange comment. That has to be a game that we actually just do not know about. I do know from account NGT, a reliable leaker in the industry. I follow him. He did say that there is a Sly Cooper game in development. But it would get announced later this year, so that will never be like released this year. So it is something else. It could be maybe that Last of Us remake. Maybe it's Final Fantasy 16, but I don't think Robert Morrison works at Square Enix. Square Enix is not a first-party PlayStation exclusive studio, so it needs to be from the first-party studios. We shall see what it is. I have no idea, but there is this mysterious game next to God of War Ragnarok. Then, the next news that I have for you guys, a new Jet Set Radio might be in development at Sega. Now, this news story is coming from Bloomberg. Bloomberg is really reliable. If most of the time when they post like new gaming stuff, they tend to be true. This is a article from Takashi Mochizuki, which is a Japanese writer for Bloomberg. I have here on Twitter, Sega is developing a big budget crazy taxi and a jet set radio as what it's called super game. That's what basically Sega is calling it internally, a super game. We don't really know what they mean with that. Maybe just high budget. Well, we shall see. People familiar with the matter told Bloomberg LinkedIn articles in Japanese, but English versions should follow soon. So there's also a crazy taxi game in development next to this Jet Set Radio one. I never played Crazy Taxi, so I can't really speak on that, but I have played Jet Set Radio, and Jet Set Radio is really cool. If they bring that back, oh man, that's one of the only sports games I will play. Sega Sammy Holding is developing a big budget reboot of its Dreamcast games Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, as it traps its back catalog in search of global hits like Epic Games' Fortnite. Oh, okay. I don't hope they make this like a Fortnite. According to people familiar with the plans, the two titles would be the first entries in Sega's Super Game Initiative, which the company announced a year ago as an effort to develop recurring revenue sources and build online communities around its software portfolio. Fortnite has become the role model for such games. Free to play, it's available across platforms, hosts large multiplayer contests, and includes extras like vehicles, construction, and social events. You know how Fortnite works. Now, the more I am reading into this, the more negative feeling I am personally getting. I don't hope that they make Jet Set Radio a free-to-play microtransaction fest. Please just make a normal Jet Set Radio, Sega. I beg you. I don't want NFTs in it. I don't want live service in it. Well, not to say that live service can't be done right. Look at Halo Infinite. It's pretty popular. And it is a good game. Even though it has some flaws in the progression system, it's still a good game. So, I'm not going to sit here and say that every live service game is bad, but most of them haven't really done that well. The new Crazy Taxi has already been in development over a year, and the Tokyo-based entertainment group aims to release it within 2 to 3 years. The people said asking not to be named as the information is not public. It was named alongside Jet Set Radio in Sega's annual report a year ago on a list of intellectual property assets that Sega wanted to recapitalize by bringing them up to date. Both new games are in early stages of creation and could be cancelled. I really hope that they don't turn Jet Set Radio in a live service game. Also Odd Taxi or Crazy Taxi for the people who are fans of that franchise of Crazy Taxi. We can only hope that they just make decent games. And Sega has to see, at least in this gaming landscape, that live service stuff most of it doesn't work. People hate microtransactions. Of course, if a game is free to play, you need to get your revenue somehow back. That has to be done with microtransactions. Let it then please be cosmetic microtransactions. I want to see just a normal Jet Set Radio that I just pay for and get all the content. Just an upfront normal purchase. Sega, do you know what that is? see how you can, if you really want to do this live service stuff, see how you should do it, and study other companies. Look at Square Enix, how they failed Avengers and Babylon's Fall. Look at Anthem from EA. Look at Fallout 76, live service games that failed. How do you fix that? How do you do that better then? We shall see how Jet Set Radio will perform. I was also questioning myself, like, the big thing about Jet Set Radio is the music that comes with that game. Hideki Naganuma, is he involved in this project? If you guys don't know Hideki Naganuma, he is one of my favorite video game composers, music composers. His music in Jet Set Radio is a large part on why that game is so amazing. If Hideki isn't involved in any way, I could only be skeptical then. So I hope they have Hideki for this project, or maybe an artist that does maybe the same kind of music as Hideki, in the same kind of style, shall I say. But we shall see how this Jet Set Radio will be going. If there's any news updates on it, I will tell you guys. So, what are your opinions on this video? A new mysterious PlayStation exclusive that is in development and that is supposed to release this year. Which could it be? Which game is it? Let me know in the comment section down below. What is your opinion on the new Jet Set Radio being developed? Or maybe Crazy Taxi? Say something about Crazy Taxi if you know that game franchise. Like this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt gaming news video. Bye bye.